us in the comments like, hi.
Hi. I'm just going to log into my Facebook page and check it all out.
Okay. Make sure we're like,
check
come
it all
to us
out.
in the comments, you guys. I know that there's people watching. I can see you. I can see you.
Oh, yay.
Radhika.
Hello, everyone. Oh, yeah, I can see us.
Wendy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Rita. And Karen.
Oh,
Thank you.
hey, Karen. Okay, so I'm just going to say, Karen, I will be seeing you in about an hour and a half because my master teacher starts today. And so we've got new master teachers that are starting.
I love all these beautiful names.
Hello, Paul. Hey,
Jenny.
Retty. Hey, BB. Oh my gosh, good to see you all. Hello, Judy.
Hello.
Yay. Leslie, my darling friend. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. Hello, Nikki. I'm seeing them all coming up on my Facebook page here. Ooh.
Oh, it is coming up for you. So
it is.
So how do we say this name? Because it's such a beautiful name. Angel T.
Oh, that's a beautiful name. Yeah.
Here. I'm going to put it up on the screen.
Oh,
Angel. I'm thinking the Y is the J is a Y.
Yeah.
Angel
T.
Angel.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And
hello, everyone.
And Marnie and Dawn, Debbie and Vicky.
Hey, Jackie.
Vicky's
everybody.
Oh my goddess, Marge Fight is here.
I love Sparkly Marge.
We love Marge Fight.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it is so wonderful to see all of you from Norway, from Florida, from everywhere, from Norway again. Oh, yay!
Oh, it's so nice to see you. Thank you guys for showing up.
Am I the only one with no audio? So is anybody else having challenges with the audio? Can you hear us?
Hold on, I can just turn this up.
Oh, go for it.
No, it's working fine on this one.
Working from you. Wendy's in LA. Yeah. Aloha, Tracy. Blah, blah, blah,
hey, Idiot. Yes, it's nice to be back.
So now that I've got all your attention, I'm going to do a commercial really quickly. All right. So how many of you would like to see Lisa Williams in person, live and in person, like in front of you, like experiencing her in person? Anybody? If you want to see Lisa in person, say yes. Say yes. Come on, people. Yes. Yes. Love to. Yay, Dawn. Yes. Who else? From Essex, you would love to. Radhika. Hi. Yes. Always yes. Perfect. 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 Okay. So are you ready for this? Drum roll, please. Here's what you're going to do. I'm going to put this up here. Here's what you're going to do if you want to see Lisa in person. Is you're going to go to this website, celebrateyourlife.com / or just go to celebrateyourlife.com and click on Scottsdale.
Yeah.
Click on Scottsdale event, because Lisa is going to be in Scottsdale at the Celebrate Your Life conference on October 28th until the 30th.
That's right.
And so here's the deal. When you sign up, you're going to see all these fabulous speakers, including the amazing Lisa Williams. And Lisa is teaching a full day intensive pre-conference. So even before the conference gets started, Lisa's teaching a full day intensive workshop on Friday, the 28th, all day, and then stay for the weekend for the main part of the conference. And Lisa's going to be doing an amazing 2-hour presentation on Saturday night with dinner. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. So come join us. Oh, I want to put this up here. Dawn, you have made my day.
Oh.
I went to see Will in Chicago, best week of my entire life.
Yeah, Chicago was amazing. I remember how many years ago was that? Was that like 7 or 8 years ago?
It was 2018, before the pandemic.
It was. Oh my gosh. It was amazing. It really is.
I know.
Yeah, so you guys, I know, and Jackie's just saying we need one in the Southern Hemisphere. So I just got back from Australia, and I'm going to tell you, Liz, we need to get you over some form of your flying thing.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Over there.
If I fly in the plane with you,
that's fine. I'll hold your hand.
I'm in a bed, one of those.
Oh yeah, that's easy.
Things. Yeah, you know what I mean, like one of those new business.
Well, so I'm going to tell you, we had the one that you're in a little cabin. You're in your own little sort of like tiny little compound. You have a door that shuts on you. You lay flat. Chris slept for 12 hours straight. It was unbelievable. Yes.
Seriously?
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Oh
absolutely.
my gosh.
So it was easy.
Okay, I'll do it. I'm in.
Okay, good. You heard it first
2024.
here, guys.
All of you are hearing this right now. I'm making the commitment. 2024, we will bring this to Australia.
Okay, Australia is waiting. Australia is
Now,
waiting.
teach me how to do this
2024.
in Australia, because I'm not sure I understand how, but we'll do it.
Don't worry. I have people. I have people.
She knows how
So
to do
it's okay.
She can do anything, guys. I'm
Don't
never
worry.
gonna do.
Yeah, we have places. And someone's saying, what about
Jacqueline's
India?
gonna hold me
India.
accountable. I love it.
I
Jacqueline.
know. Jackie. Okay, so let me tell you about Jackie. Jackie is one of my dearest friends. Okay. And she is with me in my whole Camilla addiction. Okay. Because Liz, we know about Camilla. And I'm going to tell you, Jackie has helped me out. Jackie is the person who is amazing. So, yes, just saying.
Jacqueline, I want to meet you.
Oh, yeah, she's fabulous.
Chorpa.
She is amazing. Amazing, amazing.
So here's the deal. Get on a plane, get on a train, walk, hike, get in a car, whatever you need to do, and come to Celebrate Your Life the end of this month, because
Yes.
I'm telling you, you're not going to be happy if you're not there. And if you, especially if you're in the United States, we have people flying in from all over the country to be with us. So go to celebrateyourlife.com. Again, that's celebrateyourlife.com. Thank you. I did not pay Dawn to say that all this wonderful stuff, and she's saying all this great stuff in the comments. So
I love it.
It is. It's an orgasmically fantastic weekend event. And Lisa's teaching a full day workshop, and she's also going to be doing a presentation on Saturday night. Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about something else now.
Ooh, what are we going to talk about? We're talking about everybody else.
Well, let's talk about, there's been a spiritual teacher in the community that has recently lost, and I can say it out loud because everybody knows he's publicly talking about it. It's Gary Zukav, who has most recently, Gary Zukav, who is the New York Times bestselling author of The Seed of the Soul, and he's been on Oprah so many times I can't even count. And he recently lost his spiritual partner, his wife, and Linda. And he's been talking about it publicly, about what he's been going through with the grieving process and how challenging it's been, and how, what a hard time, he's had, with this whole process. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I started thinking about, Lisa, is that you're a spiritual medium, and I just got goosebumps. You are, I think, one of the few people in the world who really understand what someone goes through when they are transitioning. Yeah. And then the other side of it, because you've worked with millions of people around the world, and also what people go through being present to someone who is transitioning.
Yeah. So,
yeah. Oh, this is Tracy's talking about her daughter's dying. I'm going to put this up. Oh, this is, I'm sorry, wrong one. Hold on.
So actually, Tracy, let's address this, okay? So she said her daughter's dying. Do you have any insights regarding for her passing? She is scared. So this is one of the things that I am very passionate about. I wrote a book called Survival of the Soul back in 2010. Sounds a long time ago, but I can't tell you how many people have come to me and said that book changed their lives. And it was really about the process of what happens when we die, everything that goes on in the process of us dying and passing away. Now, one of the things that I have become very passionate about recently is the process of death, how we are transitioning, and the soul of how they transition. So going from the human, living the life of that human aspect, and to that point where we are going to become that soul that is transitioning over into the spirit world. And I'm going to tell you guys, it's scary. And the reason why I say, and I'm honest, there is a scariness about it, because it's that whole fear of the unknown. It's the fear of what's going to happen. It's the fear of what's happening to the family. It's the fear of, is it going to hurt? There's all of this stuff that is going on. And I, for one, and Kerry, you'll understand this, Kerry's just lost her mum only a couple of days ago, bless her. I, for one, am going to tell you, death needs to be made a beautiful, beautiful experience. And in this moment of the transition, of someone's transition, it is probably, if you are able to witness someone's transition, it is probably the most beautiful thing and most incredible experience that you can ever have, because what you're seeing is the soul transition. You're seeing the releasing of the soul, and it's very peaceful. If you've ever sat with somebody in hospice, when they're sleeping, it is so peaceful. And it's in those moments when they are sleeping that I'm going to give you a really big tip. Talk to them. They don't have to answer you back, but don't talk to them out loud. Talk to them in your mind. Talk to them in your mind, and talk to the feeling of to them, saying, hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? And in that process of time, you almost have to imagine that their voice is coming to you. But in that imagination, it's the reason why I say in your imagination is because you're going to expect it, as the human, to hear it with your physical ears. And you're not going to hear it with your physical ears. You're going to hear it in your mind. So I'm going to say, imagine their voice talking to you. And if you can't imagine it, it's because they're not communicating with you. But the more you practice this connection with them, the stronger and the easier it's going to be when they do transition, that they will have that inner wisdom, that inner knowledge. Their soul will know how to communicate. And it's recognizing that they're okay. And there's so many people that will say, oh, it's okay to go, it's okay to go, it's okay to go. That is great. By all means, say it's okay to go, but then don't keep on it. Because what is happening is their body, their soul recognizes it. And it is so important that the soul recognizes it. But in that mind, their body has to let go. And their body's not giving up. It's not the fact that their soul's not giving up, it's the body that's not giving up. And we have to realize there's two different things. The body has a timing, the soul has the timing. And often you'll find that the soul will go before the body. Okay. And so it's in that process, then once you've said, okay, it's okay to go, I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
All right. And that's the most important thing, is you have to tell them, I'm going to be okay. And even if you have a plan, whatever it might be, you can tell them their plan, all of this, and then sit in love, experience, talk about the memories, talk about the things that you did. You also have to be careful about playing music. Music is really important. And in that process of playing the music, while they're still kind of with us, they're very, very conscious, they're very aware, I'm going to say, play their favorite music. But then after that, play relaxation music. You want to be looking at for the hertz of the music. You want to be going like with 174 or 540 something. I'll have to get you the actual hertz. The hertz of the music, meditation music, all of this. Because when that happens, is the meditation is soothing. We also don't want music that's going to invoke feelings as well. So anything that has no words or anything like that, something with toning, this is so important. And this is one of my things that I'm passionate about. And Liz, you know this. And I feel as though there's so many things that we as mediums can help in. Mediumship that everybody knows only scratches the surface.
Yeah.
It doesn't go deeper,
Yeah, and that's one of the things, this is why I wanted to open up this dialogue with you, because, you and I have been talking about this one-on-one, and I think that we all love the mediumship. We all love the readings, and the readings are because it's like that piece that gets us to open our hearts and open our minds, even if it's just this much, that says, oh my goodness, there is possibility. My mom is with me. My dad is with me. My daughter, my son, whatever it is, whoever you've lost. So, I love what Jenny just wrote.
Yeah.
Just gave me the language for this, because Lisa's kind of like the spiritual for all of this in terms of grief and people passing. Lisa, when she does her spiritual medium work, is that first responder right? The first responder, to let people know, yes, your loved one is with you, but now let's go a little bit deeper. Let's
Mm-hmm.
talk about, now we've been up here. We all know it's possible. We can talk to our loved ones on our own. You've all heard Lisa speak. Probably at least, 5,000 times. You've heard her, you've listened, you know how to do this yourself.
Yep.
And now it's time to go a little bit deeper. Let's talk about our own fears that we might have about death and dying. Teresa was sharing that before. She's petrified of dying. I have my own fears of dying too. And again, we're all going to experience this at some point in our life. A loved one is going to transition. What do we do next? And
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the conversation, Lisa. I really do.
Yeah, I do. And, and I just want to answer for Julie, same with pets. Pets, this is the difference with pets, is pets have this, they don't have that ego. They don't have that mindset of like, oh, I need to be, here, there, doing this, doing that. They're just like, they turn up, they eat, they poop, they do their thing. They're there for us, that unconditional love. And pets are exactly the same. I mean, Liz, we had this conversation when sadly your cat passed away. And we had, yeah, and pets are exactly the same. They know when it's time. They're there for us. So, it's an easy transition. It is very, and I do want to address Teresa, who said, her young son died in the operating room alone with no family. Now, in that operating room, you'll probably find that he was not consciously aware of this anyway, and so therefore he was in this experience where he was. So let me explain this, okay? So you guys can understand it. When we fall asleep, we're in that kind of in between state where we know we're awake, we know that we're asleep. And then when we come back and we come out of that transitional state and we're coming back into our daily life, into our present life, then what you're actually going to find is you're going to find that there is, it's kind of that in between. That is what it's like when you're passing. You kind of really are in that in between state. I can guarantee you, Teresa, that he would not have felt alone, because it was just like going to sleep. Or if he had some form of, when it comes to any form of drugs or any, obviously prescription drugs, what they were given, but it was like, it was just a natural transition. And for me, and I do want to let everyone know, those people, for me, whenever they have crossed over through in their sleep, or through any drugs, or through any form of, being on any medication such as anesthesia or anything like that, for me, I get into the body of the spirit, and it feels like I'm just going to go to sleep. It feels like an easy transition. I don't feel any tragic impact, and it's almost as though it's just such a breath. There are times, obviously, when there is a tragic impact. We have to understand that does happen. It's there, the body, and I want you to recognize this, everyone, but the body takes the impact. The soul, just before the body takes the impact, soul gets whipped out, which is often the reason why so many people do not understand what happens, or do not feel anything, or do not remember anything. If they're coming back they've had a tragic accident, they're like, I can't remember from the moment of seeing the car to waking up in the hospital. That's actually because the soul has pulled away. The body takes the impact. The mind shuts it down anyway. So the mind has that element that it has to deal with, but the soul is very much, I'm just coming out of it. So there's no tragedy. So of course we have that impact where we have fight or flight, we have PTSD, we have all of these things. Now, when we talk about PTSD, there's been studies that have been done with the military. Those are people who have been pre-warned, looked at things and sort of like been trained to deal with these things. And then they come back from these tragic situations, and if they haven't understood the process before they've gone into it, they will come back with some form of PTSD. It's natural. But when you take it in and you're aware of it, and you are like, this is what happens, the brain is aware. And it's all brain science. We have to really rewire our brain. It's neuroscience. There's a real neuroscientific sort of like background here. But we have to understand that it's our mind that overthinks it. So when we do come back and we have this tragic situation, everyone's like, oh my God, you nearly died. Oh my God, this was awful. I was going through this. I was going through that. What's happening is you're reprogramming your brain to go, oh my God, I nearly lost my life. Oh my God, it was awful. Da, da, da. So that's where the PTSD comes in.
Right.
And so there's a lot of things that we have to do to calm ourselves. And this goes with times of death. We, as the humans who are staying in this place, have to be calm. And it's part of our calmness that helps the transition of the soul, that helps everything that happens. So this is something I'm super, super passionate about. As you know, Liz, this is, it is something incredible.
So I do have a question. Yes, you will be able to watch this later to show your husband, Teresa. Definitely. Do you feel like well, because Kathy Jane has a really good question that I thought we should address. But I also wanted to ask you, when someone does transition, no matter how they transitions, I've heard that there's like, all of the people that have loved you are waiting for you, and angels. Is that really what happens? Like,
okay,
is that really true, Elise?
So I'm going to tell you from a person who has seen this all sort of like sitting in hospice to everything that I know. So I sat with my former mother-in-law recently in hospice, and I was sitting there, and she would go in and out of consciousness, and she was seeing things. And my former sister-in-law said to me, what is she doing? I said, just talk to her. Anyway, so when she came back, her mom turned around, her mom Jill said, oh, that's lovely, and which was her standard thing. And then she said, and she looked at Claire and called her mom, and she said, did you just see your mom? And she said, yes. And she went, it's heaven. And so what's actually happening is the spirit world draws close. And when we're in this space of transition, the spirit world draws close, and there is that fine line. So we talk about this fine line. And it's such a very, very fine line between being in the earth plane, and it's almost like 1 foot. They often say 1 foot in the grave, which I think is just an awful saying, but it's actually very true. It's that 1 foot of either side. And so they're bouncing back between, and they're able to see the spirit world very, very clearly, and probably clearer than I can or anything like that. And so what they're doing is they're looking at their loved ones, and I can actually feel it when I go into the hospice. I can actually feel all of their loved ones around.
Okay.
And it's incredible. You're going to meet your loved ones, your animals, everybody that's important to you. Now, physically, they're not going to look like us, but they're going to be feeling balls of energy. It's like energetic. It's just, when you meet someone that you feel like, God, I've known you before. It's that feeling. And no one cares what we look like. It's just that emotional care. It's that emotional being. It's just that being present. Oh, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Wow. I've always wondered, even if it's an accident, or if it's like Teresa was sharing about her son, who was alone, there were still people there with him. There were still angels and guides and loved ones with him. Okay. So this is sort of a reading. We're really not going to get too much into reading, you guys, because we're just having a different conversation. But Kathy Jane was asking that she lost her husband of 40 years a few weeks ago. So how can you speak to, and maybe not necessarily just to Kathy, but how can we speak to people when they say, how is he doing on the other side?
So I think that's a really important question. And Kathy, I'm so sorry for your loss. But I do think it's a very important question, because you're not alone. And it's now looking for the signs. And it can be as silly as, you see a bird outside and go, oh my gosh, was that him? And it's being aware, in that moment of looking for the signs. I mean, even my husband literally just pulled me out of the house just a minute ago and said, look at that. And as the eagles are flying by, and we all know that Chris doesn't believe in this stuff, but it's interesting. But it's looking for the signs, and it's also talking to him and talking to your loved ones. When you talk to them and you are imagining their voice talk to you, you are maybe seeing them, or you may be feeling them, or you're recognizing a sign, or you're very much in that process of just, I'm listening to them, I'm going out and I'm ignoring life because that's all I can do, but I'm now hear a song on the radio that's just come on, or I'm going to the grocery store. These are the things that you need to listen to and watch for. And of course, I'm going to say, of course, he's with you. And as we are, we as humans are questioning this, because I even questioned it myself when my dog died. I actually Googled signs from your dogs, and guess who came up? Me. I came up. I mean, it was silly. It was so silly. I did, as a psychic medium, I did. But I think what we have to realize is that we can communicate with our loved ones. And so ask them, hey, where are you? What are you doing? And the best thing I'm actually going to say to all of you, if you've lost someone, is first of all, involve them in your day. So as you're walking around, and if you're doing something in the kitchen, talk to them as if they were really there.
I do
and
that.
imagine, yeah, well, there you go. That's it. Talk to them like they're really there and listen for them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. By the way, I'm going to interrupt just for a second.
No, go for it.
That's an amazing exercise. I actually did that. And because Lisa kept saying, continue the conversation. Well, I kept continuing the conversation. I did. And it was so profound. I got so many signs. Like my mom kept sending me Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which was her favorite song.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I know. And the other thing I would say is also write letters. Write letters to people, write letters to them, have a special journal that you write letters to them in. And honestly, Teresa just said, what do I do about the skeptics who are naysayers in my family? Just say, you know what, this is not their journey, it's yours. Yeah. It's your journey, and you're coping, and all of these things are your coping mechanisms to just get you through that day.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, I think that's important. It doesn't really matter whether your husband or partner, they don't believe in it. It's okay, because it's not about them. It's about what your journey is and your own spiritual practice. And that's hard. I get it. Because my husband doesn't believe everything that I believe in or meditate or all those things. But I mean, well, he meditates, but you know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bill has a really good question. Okay. So hi, Bill Van Horn. And he's going to be at the Scottsdale Celebrate Your Life conference. Everybody come meet Bill. Bill's going to be there. So question for Lisa. Does the soul continue to evolve after that transition? That's so interesting.
Absolutely. And I think it's a great question, Bill. And the reason why it does is when it does come back, because we will come back. There are going to be times that we don't come back. Obviously, some of us know that it's our last life, which is such as I do. But when this happens, our soul has to evolve. We have to learn lessons. We have to look at things. Oh, I went through this because of this. Oh, I went through that because of that. And when the soul is looking at their own journey, the evolution of their life in this world, what they're doing is they're naturally evolving. And so then there's this evolution, and then it's like, okay, so my next life, I have to accomplish, my lesson of trust, or I have to accomplish my lesson of, a compassion, or whatever it might be. So naturally there is an evolution. And I think it's very important to realize that we're constantly evolving now as humans, and we are souls. So why should it stop? That's how I've always done. But yeah, I've heard it so many times where, I'm still evolving. My soul is evolving. This is a journey. And it's been amazing.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely agree with that, because I feel like in this lifetime, I know I came in having to learn some certain things, because that lesson keeps coming up over and over again. Mm-hmm. And I know if I'm choosing to come back in the next lifetime, there you go. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's it for today. I think this was just short and sweet, just to come in and say hi, about 30 minutes. Just wanted to touch base with all of you to remind you. And BJ is also coming to, I haven't seen BJ in many years. Oh, she's coming to the Scottsdale event also. So just a reminder, you guys, this is the time to kind of unearth ourselves from being isolated, from being alone, from being in our homes. Come unearth yourself, be with us at the Scottsdale event. If you live in the country, it's a really, really easy trip to Arizona, to Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. So it's going to be the end of this month. The prices are really reasonable. Come be with us. We're going to have such a fantastic time, you guys. You will not want to miss it. It's just what our souls are calling for right now. So go to celebrateyourlife.com. You'll see the Scottsdale event. Oh, Kathy's going to be there too. Susan's going to be there too. Yay! Okay, good. All right.
I love it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, everyone. Sending you lots of love.
Bye.